again, people may think that, oh my goodness, they're using a pencil, but generally these are things that we find in the correction setting, and again, these are things that were provided that we could test with all of us there present to see what they would do. And I'm not sure what that is. Is that the forces? I'm not sure what that machine was. This, what they're trying to show us there, that this is all, every time a test is done, this is all documented. All the tests and all the different type of weapons, the height at which they were tested at, this is all done, categorized, and then saved. That was the copper tubing they just bent.
Are each of those X's where it's been tested?
Louder, Brian.
Are each of those X's where it's been tested?
That's correct. They have to be out, I believe, 2 inches apart on the backing material, and so every time they mark dots on the backing material.
If I may just stop here, this was a piece of metal that was generally found, I believe, in the kitchen at the time. It's a rod that was taken out, and that's one of the that's metal. That's a stainless steel. As you can see, it didn't penetrate, it bent. Here's another piece of metal. I'm not sure where it came from. It's a piece of metal that's actually been sharpened. Again, another manufactured weapon from an institution. I'm highlighting these because the other weapons, these are some of the nastier weapons that, unfortunately, we find inside our facilities at times. And again, this was a sharpened weapon, metal. And again, I'm not sure what the metal was, but it's obviously metal. And again, it did not penetrate, it actually bent the metal, as well as the other. This is a piece of metal. I believe they're going to slash with this one. Piece of sheet metal that's been sharpened. And I believe that's the California ice pick.
No, that's the NIJ.
Oh, I'm sorry, the NIJ ice pick, the one that's been passed around, and the one that the vets have to pass utilizing. This test piece is a machined piece of metal, honestly extremely hard. Again, this is the test that's used to certify a vest that has to pass. And again, it's being shown here. They're actually doing the test with us present.
The X's are placed on the backing material so that no single piece of backing material is used more than once.
The backing materials on there, I think that Ed went over this, but that's to mimic a human torso, is that correct?
It's more stringent than a human torso, yes. But it's a resilient backing material that is readily available and very consistent.
This is obviously an actual test on one of the vests that we have as a department using the California, or the NIGA ice pick or California. And as you can see, for those of those who wear a vest, this is being done down where the vest comes together. This isn't the middle of the vest. This is down lower portion of the vest. And again, the vests are tested. They're tested all over different places of the vest. It's not just tested in one single area. testing design is to ensure that the vest is appropriate all over.
The angles are perpendicular and 45 degrees.
This object's being dropped at over 9 feet. As you can see, the bounce, this is what Ed was talking about, where it hits, then bounces back up a foot or so, and then comes back down and bounces a couple more times. Again, this is mimicking what Ed had discussed about the force of the energy of a strike and then the push through. And this, again, is just a test of it being done at a 45-degree angle with the same spike, mimicking a down thrust or an upward thrust. And again, the object did not penetrate the vest.
I should have pointed out earlier, I'll take a moment now to do so. To pass this test, you must not only stop the spike at the strike energies for that particular level, but you must also stop the spike at what they call the overstrike energy, which is 50% higher than the strike energy.
And what you're seeing here on the vest is that spike penetrated the carrier, and then what they're going to do with us there is to tear the vest apart, open the vest up, and to show you that it didn't go through, it didn't penetrate. So if you were wearing the vest, it would not have touched your skin. And again, this test was done with balls present. Gives the vest a blemish, didn't penetrate. And I would also say that if you're wearing a vest and someone attempts to stab you or stabs you while you're wearing the vest or punctures you, your vest is done. At that point, your vest is taken from you and you're issued a new vest. It's not one of these things where if you get stabbed 3 or 4 times, it stops and be like, after the 4th time. Once it's been, someone's tried to assault you or has assaulted you with a weapon, that vest is taken off and it's replaced with a brand new vest. And that concludes the testing that was done of the children. Thank you.
All right, does the association have questions? Mr. Roberts?
Take a brief recess to collect your votes.
Okay, let's come back here at 10:45. All right, we're back on the record and ready for the association's cross-examination.
Gentlemen, my name is Pscoa. I represent the Pscoa. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. If you don't understand any question, please let me know. If I don't hear something from you, I'll assume you understand the question and I'll wait for your response. Deputy, I'd like to first speak to you. How long have you been employed with the DSC?
25 years.
And how long were you employed as an H-1 member or in a CO1 or CO2 position?
I'm going to guess 10, 12 years.
Okay, so you've spent half of your career then in a management position.
Correct.
And you're currently employed at Houtzdale?
Correct.
And you have contact with inmates in that position?
Every day.
When was the last time you wore a vest?
When I came out of uniform, when I went from a major to a deputy superintendent, we're not required to wear it.
You're not required, but you testified today that you want to ensure the safety of the employees. It's your option to wear a vest, but you don't wear one?
It's not an option to us. It wasn't an option to us. We just don't wear a vest. The other thing I'd like to point out is that in administration or management, I spend the majority of my time, probably 95% of my time, behind a wooden desk. Unfortunately, I'm a paper pusher now versus someone, these officers back here that are out there on the street every day. They're in housing units 8 hours, if not more, 8 hours a day, where I'm behind a desk 90%, 95% of my time. So there's a big difference.
But when you do have contact with the inmates, you don't wear a vest.
That's correct.
There's a number of people in any given institution that do have contact with inmates, correct?
That's correct.
Civia employees are teachers, correct?
That's correct.
Counselors, correct?
Correct.
Your captains, lieutenants, majors, all non-H-1 people who have contact with inmates, correct?
They do, however,
That's my question, is they have contact with inmates on a regular basis, do they not?
and the commission staff do wear a vest, yes.
No one's required among those people.
Commission staff is required to wear a vest, yes.
Your counselors are not?
That their union doesn't request it.
Counselors aren't trained to protect themselves, correct?
That's correct.
Civia employees, the school teachers, aren't trained to protect themselves, correct?
That's correct.
You talked about the history of the mandation. And as soon as the Pscoa was mandated to wear the vests, the very next contract cycle, they requested that it be optional, correct?
That was correct.
So much of your testimony where you discussed how you worked hand in hand with the Pscoa about what vest they were going to choose, how it was implemented, that was because they were being mandated, correct?
The arbitration at the time, if you look back at the arbitration, the union said that they didn't have any say. The vests that they got initially, they didn't have any say. They were selected by the department and said, here, you're going to wear these are mandatory. The union's argument at that time came back and said, we have no say in this. The union at that time said, we want a hand in hand, we want a say in what we're getting. And that was granted. That's what the arbitration ruling was. And they were part of it from the inception.
So the suggestion then that they necessarily went into this hand in hand is disingenuous.
Objection.
They had to wear.
Objection. Is sustained.
Deputy, do you wear high heels?
Objection. I don't really want to know. So I'm abstaining.
I'm sort of intrigued now.
Let me put it this way. Deputy, if I mandated you to wear high heels, would you want to say with
Objection.
in what you wear?
Objection.
Let's keep it relevant.
Mr. Arbitrator, I
Let's
believe
keep it
that's
relevant.
fair. You indicated during the video that when a vest is even stabbed once or punctured, it's replaced, correct?
Correct.
As a matter of fact, that is Armor Express's policy, that if a vest saves the life of an inmate, you get a free replacement. Correct? Or sorry, saves the life of the CO, you get a free replacement.
I don't know what Armor Express is. I don't believe that's true. It doesn't matter whether you're wearing a ballistic vest or a stab vest from a company. Once it's been hit or you've been assaulted with